Good morning everybody and welcome. I hope you had a good night last night and you was all relaxed and refreshed for this morning. My name's Iris Smith and I own a small little business in Mansfield, Nottinghamshire called The Flower Patch. Again, before I start, I just want to thank everybody for the comments, the really sweet comments, and like I say many a times, it's very touching, really very touching, and it also puts a smile on my face too. So this morning I was sat in my living room last night, comfortable with a nice hot cup of coffee, and I thought to myself, when I looked across the room, I saw this, another piece of mine as a decorative item in my house. Wasn't doing anything, just sat in the corner under a plant with a little copper watering can about so big, and I thought, I'm going to do something with that now. The best thing about it is, go and hunt around your house and honestly you will find bits and bobs like this, and you look at it, you think, no, I can't do nothing with that, it's too open, there's nothing I can do. Or there is plenty, everybody, that you can do. So like I say, I thought this morning, I brought it in and I thought, we're going to do the crown. We're going to do it in bright colours, in yellows and whites. I'm not going to mix it with oranges or reds, it's just going to be yellows and whites. So what I did before we started the video, I put my oasis in, I tie wrapped it around, or zip tied it, around here and then around here, and then also, you can't see it because I've glued felt on the bottom so it doesn't scratch the floor. Bit dirty because I've got moss on my turntable, but that can be wiped off, and that will be wiped off. And I glued this felt on the bottom as well, instead of putting moss underneath for the moss to be going on your floor or anything, or wherever you're going to place it. I decided to put the felt, but my mechanics, as I say, as you can perhaps see, there's bits there going around these, going around and then going across, so I can hold it, and I've tried it, I've moved it, it's not moving. These are cast iron. I got this crown from a store where it sells, I guess, I don't know what the word is, different things, instead of the normal ornamental things you perhaps buy, for your house to decorate it. And me, I like things that other people may not have. But I did get it from this store where it sells all weird and wonderful things. And when I spotted it, this was perhaps about 3 years ago. And then this morning I thought, I'm going to do something. So, as I say, it's all round, the moss is all in, pinned in tightly. And we're going to start. But before we start, let's get through all what we're using today. Now, I've got quite a bit out because I haven't planned this. I just know I wanted to do it in yellows and whites. So I've just grabbed a few bits from all my buckets. So as usual, what softens things up, I've got my asparagus fern. I absolutely love this. The rubber effect from the company called Leaf. If you've not seen it before and you're new to my channel, that's what it looks like, slightly closer up. It bends from the bottom of the stem here right to the tip. You can bend it and manipulate it in any direction. I've got out also what I cut down before I started off a stem, because I just didn't want to overload my workbench. So I've got out some seeded eucalyptus. I've got, I don't know how many stems, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's only 4. Oh no, 5. I thought I'd got 5. 5 stems I cut of seeded eucalyptus. And I do like the seeded eucalyptus. I think it has a wonderful effect. It just looks natural how, you know, when it's in your garden and it's starting to grow. And I also got some oddments that I got out of just the normal eucalyptus. And, you know, it's not the silver dollar or anything. I think this is the most common one people tend to use. So I've also got that. Again, I grabbed a handful of the wispy bits that I may want to put up here, or even glue them to the side there. So I've also got that. I've also got, because I've got the red one, what we did on a display the other day on another video, I've got the green willow stem also. If I could just show you again, if you're new to this, to my channel, the one we use, this has been used already, but I do put them back. This one is a fabulous one. It has like a bluey grey effect on the dark leaves. I sat there the other day and I thought, you know what it reminds me of? A frosty morning and you've got frost on your leaves. That's what it reminded me of, and I thought, I'm going to stick with that because I like that. But I decided to get the green one out instead because we're not using any reds. So we'll just put that back. And then I decided to get some of my ruscus. I've only got 3 stems out. I've chopped these off of a full stem, but I decided just to get 3 out as well. They've got like a yellowy tint in them as well, so I just thought, well, with that limey yellow colour, it'd go nice against the yellows. These are a few of my oddments as well. The forsythia, so I've only got 3 here that I could find. So that's perfect, it's an odd number. And like I say, I adore this because the leaves just spread out and make it look like a beautiful little flower, a green flower, and I love it. So with that being a limey colour, I thought that would work well too. And the long stem boxwood that I have, I've just brought 1 stem of those again. I may put them up there, I may bring them down, I may even put them at the bottom. But that, I've brought that out as well. So we're going to perhaps use that. Like I say, I may not use everything. I've also brought out, you know, just a few of these, maybe to go around the bottom, or maybe just the odd one to stick up around the centre. So I've not brought many of those out. And of course I won't go without my beautiful fern. As Abby said the other day, if you've ever heard of fur babies, I think there was little toys for children. Well, my sons now call me the fern baby. But hey-oh, I don't mind, because I love fern. But that is the the light green one, and it's the rubber effect, again from the company Leaf, where they are wired to up to there. They're not wired on about 1 inch on the tip, but I don't mind that. And then this I usually use when I do either garden arrangements or house plant arrangements, but I thought may use one of those. And with that having the yellowy colour, limey yellow, I thought that's good. I could use that, you know, maybe to put along the bottom, maybe a tall one in the centre. I thought brilliant, and it'll add a different effect, and it'll look great. So that's the foliage. The flowers, I've got something pulling at the back of my hair. I've got small sunflowers. Some are really tiny with their own little foliage with bits of fern attached to them, as well as their own leaves, and some are just slightly bigger. I mean, I've got bigger ones, if I show you, which are much bigger, but I thought the little ones would look fantastic instead of, you know, really big ones. So we'll just pop that back. And then I'm considering, this is a rose and a lily bush. There's your rose, your white rose, and obviously your white lily. These are silk, they're not the paper effect. I've got somewhat of paper effect, and I tend to not use them. I don't like that paper sound. Unless if I'm going to use them, I'd probably put them at the bottom or something like that. But they come with their own little seeds at the top on the lilies and their own fern, and that's scattered throughout. So I was thinking of using those as well. Now I've got this, what they call foxtail grass. I got this from Dunhelm. I think on here it says £4 for one stem. I don't even know how long this stem is. Looking at it, it's probably about 90 centimetres. But that is a bit feathery, and I think that's wonderful with its only just a bit of spiky grass. So I thought that would be great. So to give a different, you know, movement instead of, you know, just all flowers. I've also just picked out, oh my goodness, 3 calla lilies in white as well. I do like my calla lilies. As you know, I've got the miniature ones as well, the wispy ones. I've just placed an order, and I've ordered them in bulk. I've ordered the yellow, the purple, the red, the oranges, the pinks, the whites. So they're all coming in a bulk. I just love to add in, you know, wispy bits, and those small little lilies that I have. They're fantastic with anything. And I think one of my wires have popped out. So they're the calla lilies as well. I also thought I might put in a bit of a stilby. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to use everything. It's just, you know, I just grabbed a few things and thought, yes, you know, I may use that, and then just put that there. Like I say, I've not planned anything, but that's the white astilbe with its little foliage as well. You get different sorts of astilbe, I've noticed, because when I've ordered other astilbe, it doesn't come like this. It comes more compact. And I'll show you this as well. I've got something here. Now this is totally different. On the order, I'll stand close, on the order that said astilbe. So I thought, yes, we'll have it. On this order it said astilbe. Now which one's which? Personally, I think that's the astilbe. But then I've seen astilbe with flowers on. So I don't really know. Again, maybe false advertisement, who knows. But I like them, so I ordered them. So, and then I've just fished out, you know, just some of my favourites, the white little carnations off of a spray. I've not fluffed these properly up yet, but I will do. And then I decided we may use a white hydrangea, and that is beautiful, really pretty. I didn't realise, because it's at the back, you see, I've got that many different types of hydrangeas. I didn't even realise that I've got, you know, the white ones left. So then also I decided I have to have wispy bits. So on this, we'll tell you what this says: spring grass and blossom. At least it doesn't say bulrush. But that's some little flowers. I think to me they look slightly a bit like buttercups, if you know. So who knows? But I want to put some of them in. And I cut these the other day and I didn't use them. But some ranunculus in yellow, which I'll probably put those in because I do adore ranunculus. If I come closer with this, you'll see how they're compact. Oh, look at that. Oh, let me just take that off. I don't like bits on. Now, isn't that beautiful? How the different layers upon layers upon layers in the centre. It's just wonderful. Even the tiniest little buds, you can see the layers on them too. They're just, oh, they're just magnificent. So I'm going to put them in for definite. And then I decided maybe we'll put some lemons. You know, a refreshing look instead of, you know, the autumnal colours. Let's have a bit of a refreshment. So I've got some lemons out as well. And I ordered a big bulk of those too. So you can get those absolutely anywhere. Right, so if I push down all my florals to the end, and we'll use them last. And let's start with our greenery. Now, like I say, I haven't planned what I'm going to do with it. It's just a case of, again, just stop, you know, inserting your flower or your foliage, should I say. And once you see a pattern arrive, you know, coming and arriving, follow the pattern. And, you know, and then you'll end up with a beautiful arrangement. So, let me just tear a couple of these up if they come up. No. So we're going to cut a few of these off to put in. Great. In fact, we're going to use them all because there's only a few left. You know, the weirdest thing about these is they've got roots. What you'd have underground, the roots of the plant. They've got little roots on as well. So they've really thought about that. But we don't want the roots. Put that in there. Right, now these also have paper back. So again, I don't take the chance. I will, you know, put my tape around it. I don't like you've probably heard me state many times, I don't like the paper peeling off, even though it's going inside the oasis. To me, that's not the point. The point is you do a professional job, the customers want a professional job, and the more of a professional job that you do, it shows value, care and attention. And I am all for that. Let me just cut a bit off, I've gone a bit too far with the tape. So that's one. Again, my cat's in today but is not here. I've moved him over there on my chair with his bed, and he's fast asleep. Oh, I do have my heater on. Let me switch it off. I wanted to just, because it's a bit chilly here in Mansfield. It's the noise, I can hear it in the background on the videos. I hope that's better, everybody. I don't need to shout now. So we'll get these all protected. You don't have to do it right up to the stem. I only tend to do it, you know, perhaps halfway down to the bottom. There's no need at the top. Once the bottom bit's secure, the top will not fray. Now that hasn't got anything strong on it, so we're going to put a pick on this one. Oops, daisy. Let's turn this one around. I'm going to go around the stem on the actual asparagus above, and then I'm going to carry on below that, this stem, onto the wire pick for more support. You don't have to again go all the way down because you'll probably more than likely be cutting it anyway. Oh, my Gorilla Glue came last night, believe it or not. It was about 6 p.m. It arrived from Amazon. So I've got an extra 30 pack coming today. So I don't know if anybody knows what sort of glue to put in a glue can. If I bring this as well closer. Sorry for stopping and starting again. I just like to help everybody. I got these off Amazon. Gorilla hot glue sticks, and there's 75. They're only mini. I can't find taller ones, so I got those, and where I'm from they're about £20 for one pack. So I've had to order 2 packs, and plus I've got the 30 pack coming. So they are quite expensive, but they are very, very, very much worth it. They are glue sticks that are for wood, metal, glass, plastic, floral, fabric, leather, foam, and much, much more. And they are weatherproof as well. If it's hot outside, raining outside, it won't do anything to any of your display. So again, win-win. I thought I'd just put another one down. Gosh, we're not even getting far this morning, and I'm already forgetting things. Right, that's the fern done. So let's put a couple of these in to start with. And like I say, you can manipulate them, bend them into any position, or just fold them. They may want to have them looking like that. You may want them, you know, just up. I like them to look more natural because they do, asparagus fern, they do go everywhere. Right, we're going to put this. I'm going to put, as you can see, where these, I don't know really what they call, the part of the crown, I'm going to stick one just at the side. And we'll do the same with the others. Gosh, it's lovely to see my pan full. Let's just manipulate it. I'm going to take my scissors away. Oh, and thank you as well, Nin, for your lovely comments from, I think you said Kentucky. So I hope it's lovely. I know I had a pen pal, I think is it I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't know if you say Louisville or Louisville, I'm not sure. So sorry if it's wrong. But yeah. So thank you, Nin, for your lovely comments. And Irma, oh, I wish your weather would hurry up and cool down for you as well. And we're just going to put this one just slightly more into the centre. Just let that one lean over. Oops, a bit of it's come off. Let me get the glue on it. Now I've got plenty. And stick that back on. Any excess glue, just take it off. You don't want that hanging around where you've just pushed it on. So that's with the asparagus fern. Right, I want to put this in as well. I'm going to, I think, if I can pull that a bit further down. Yeah, and I'm going to elongate this because I'm thinking if I have this in the centre, oh mind, you know, perhaps leaning, or you know what, it may look nice at the top there, around the crown, top of the crown. Oh, I don't know, let me leave it because my mind is working overtime. There we go. Now with the ruscus, just bend and manipulate it to a natural position. Just fluff up all your foliage And you could put that also come in there. You could even cut these down, you know, if you wanted them smaller at the bottom. In fact, that might look quite pretty. So let's give it a try. Yes. Or you could even put them there. I've not thought, like I said, thought of how far the boundary I want it to come out. But there is quite a lot of space. But that's the reason I've mossed it up. Because if I don't want to fill this completely, at least it's covered by the moss. Oh, I had a lovely idea off of Sandra. Thanks, Sandra. You have got my head ticking away like there is no tomorrow. Sandra came up with a brilliant idea when I did the telephone display up here yesterday. She sent me a little message saying, I can imagine you doing it on an old-fashioned typewriter. Sandra, oh, as I said, I've got one of those when I was a small girl, when I was 15, and I did secretarial work, and for me to practice to learn to type without looking, my mum brought me a manual typewriter. It was only small, it's got a case over it, and oh, I used it like every day. And I eventually got the grasp to type, you know, with touch type we call it, without looking. And oh gosh, Sandra, now I'm considering having to go up in my attic to fish it out. I don't even know whereabouts it is in the attic, but you have gave me a brilliant idea, so thanks for that, Sandra. If I can find it in my attic, I am going to do it. Why leave it up there when I can do something with it? That one's snapped off. So if we can find it, then I will try something with it. So I thought that was an excellent idea. Right, I can see a little bit where it's sticking up, where I'm not cut it in a diagonal angle. That's better. And just again bend it. I keep trying to bend these and they keep snapping off. I'm probably a bit too hard with them. Oh, I can see glue strings. Oh, I'm wearing black today, so I can see the glue strings. I said that to my son this morning upstairs. He says, "Why are you wearing black on a, you know, on a summer's day?" I said, "It's so I can see where the glue strings are, because I can feel them. And like I say many times, they're like spider's webs. You can feel them, but you can't see them. So that's hence the reason I've got black on. Not because I'm, like I say, miserable. It's just so I can see my glue strings today. Right, this is the seeded eucalyptus. See, I might take that one off of there because there's something missing up there, and put it up there. And then cut these little prongs off at the bottom where I've just removed that leaf, because that's not needed, and it's not needed to be on show either for your customer. Now, I'm going to put these around. So how many have I got? 5, I think I've said. 1, 2, I may be able to cut through and get bits more as well. Get, you know, a couple out of them. So let's give it a go. So I'm going to put them like in the centre of these. I'm going to push them fairly quite far, sorry. There. Now let's have a look. We could split these definitely. So I may be able to put more. Oh, I Can't get to that little tiny bit. Done it. Let's do the same with, mind you, with, oh goodness me, with this one I don't think, we'll just take the top part and we'll take some leaves off and put them on the top. Well, you can't, it won't allow it. Ay, ay, ay. So let's cut those off and we'll just use this as one. Does anybody else get that, where they're using something and then they think, oh, let's just manoeuvre that, or cut there and then it just snaps? Right, so let's position these. If I put one in between each of these first, and then I can see how many I have left. And again, depending on how far you'd like it to be sticking out, you know, that's entirely your own decision. If you want it, you know, coming out further and then have it coming up, you know, like that, like I guess like a teepee shape, like that, and around. I guess that would look beautiful. I tend to do the bigger thing, you know, arrangement at the top and work down to the smaller one. I have done many, really many, that's bigger at the bottom and work the way up. So I've got 2 left. So let's stick these just above on either side from each other. Right, that's what I have. Just get rid of my glue string there. If you can see it from the top point, that's what it looks like from the top. It's quite wispy already with the asparagus fern. And then I've also got just the most common eucalyptus, and I just want to put a couple in the centre. So I want, hopefully if I've got a bit of longer bits. Oh, that's a nice piece, nice and fluffy. I'd like another one like that. Oh, if I can. Try not to bend the band or anything. I'm going to take that off because it's not very good. I don't know if you can see behind my hand. It's very poor. Nothing around here, just with that at the top. There's no wire. So that doesn't, you know, give it any, you know, justice really with having it at the bottom. Right, I've not used those, so I'll just pop those back in. Oh, I love it because all my stuff's sorted out and I can just pop it in. So, that one, maybe them together. I don't want to overload. I say that every time. I don't want to overload. So I'm just going to put these just in there. I'm going to put 3. And do the triangle position, and then I may, no, I'm not going to use that. And then another one here. So that's all I'm going to use of the, you know, the eucalyptus. I don't need any more of that. Like I say, I may not even use all this foliage. Oh, I've got another. We don't need that either. The ruscus. So let's add a bit of lime green. I think with these, I'm going to cut these again. And I think I want these at the bottom. Now, don't they look pretty? I just love them because they're so flower-like, you know, how they spread open. So let's get a few of those in at the bottom. In fact, I'll cut it a slightly bit shorter. I don't want it, you know, too long. I'm trying to, I suppose, keep within this boundary. So I'm going to put one of those. Push it in slightly a bit more. Oh, so that's sticking out. So it's kept within the boundary of your seeded eucalyptus. And another one here. Let's get one. Now, where did I put it? And then I think, so that's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put one more in. Yeah. And that one here. So that's all we're going to put in as that, forsythia. I'm not going to put any more of that in, so I'll have to put those in my, what I say, dribs and drabs in Mansfield. We call them dribs and drabs. I don't know what anybody else calls them, which means oddments really. Right, my wispy fern, which I love. There's what a leaf come off of there. So let's have a look for something thingy. Take it off of that one. And let's put it, glue it on actually, because I don't want it to come off again. Once you've pushed it on, there'll be glue around it. Just take that excess glue off, because that will, once that dries, it will be able, you will be able to see it. Clear the stem. Let's see where we're going to put these. Now, I could even glue them onto there. Or no, I'm going to put them there. I may want to attach a few flowers. So they're just going to, you know, hang over to give you your movement. I do like these. I still can't remember where I got these from. I've tried having a look, but I can't. I just can't find it. That as well there. And then one more. There's another one missing at the bottom here. So let's just glue this one on as well. Take one from another. like I say, wipe the glue off, because that will dry white, so it will be noticeable. It doesn't dry clear. I'm not picking glue off here, it's on the ends, they're really weird. They've got like a second, you've got your stem cover there, and then on the bottom they seem to have a little bit, probably about an inch or just under an inch of another coating of this on top of it. I don't know what that's for, but it comes off really easy, so I tend to take it off. And then one more, like that. So these again, dribs and drabs, put them there. Now, because I've got my fern, you see it's looking quite full with the with all the greenery. So let me just pull one off, because it may look okay. Yeah, I'm going to be putting, in fact I may put a few wooden picks on. I just grab them, if I can find them. I don't want a lot, so I'll just grab a few. Now these are the wooden picks. I'll bring these closer because I looked at the video and you couldn't even see it. They're just, I think, 4 inches long. They've got a point, well, on the end, just there, and then a bit of copper wire attached to it at the top, and then you've got your copper wire there, if you can see it. And then you just attach that to your stem, wrap around like that, onto your flower stem, and then put a bit of tape over it. So I do like these, but these are very expensive. I don't know if they're very expensive anywhere else. I think for a pack of 100 they're about, I think, £25. So that's a lot. That is a lot. So I don't want to be using the full wired pick and then throwing half of it away, which I don't usually anyway. I tend to use the other half for something else. Save me. Now then, do we cut it smaller? Let's see how far it's going to go in. Yes, I'm going to slightly cut it at an angle, shorter, because I don't want the pick going all the way in the centre, so that when I'll put something in the centre it's going to catch on that. So I'll put just a few of these dotted around at the bottom. Oh, I bought tie wrap out with me as well. If you can hear a noise in the background, guys, it's one of my neighbours who are chopping their hedge. So he thinks it's a bit too long. So he's decided to cut it this morning while it's still dry. You know, it's going to be cloudy today. Apparently just 19 degrees, so that's not very warm. Not for us Brits anyway. Just turn it around. And I'll put one just slightly down here. If you don't, there's another tip I've got for you. Let me do it on one. I'm going to do it on that one. But because the longest leaf on your willow, if you don't like it too long, what I tend to do, I come down shorter, go up in a diagonal one way, and then from the centre where this vein is, let me just move those out of the way, I go down on the opposite side. And it gives you a shorter leaf. And if you want to just shape it, if you think it's got a bit of a hard edge, just shape it like these, and that's what I do. Instead of buying something, you know, just a bit smaller to fill it, I think, you know, just shape it yourself. Again, that will save you buying other foliage, you know, with smaller leaves on, similar to what your willow. Oh, I've just heard a truck, so I hope that's not my order. That one, just this. So before I carry on, let me just snip this into shape. I think it is. One moment, guys. No, it wasn't. It was for next door. Gosh. Sorry again about that. Having to just quickly stop the video again. If my glasses look dark, it's because when I go out in the natural light, they've got reflectors in, and they turn them dark. They react against the sunlight. Not that there is sunlight. I have had, it's really weird, I have had just the odd person when I've been out, you know, shopping, and because my glasses have gone dark, they've thought I was blind, and they've come over to help, bless them. You know, do you need help to cross the road? And I just sort of like just said, no thank you, I can see, it's my glasses. Oh sorry, they said, you know, I thought you was I said blind. I said no darling, I'm not blind. So that was quite weird. I've never had that before. Kind of them to ask, but no, that's the only thing the only trouble I have with them, that they make me look like you know, I need help at crossing or anything like that. Let me just check that I've done these. Oh yes. Right, so all that is in. I'm not going to put any of this willow in the centre because it is quite big. It will really hide everything. I just wanted it along the bottom. So we'll put that one back as well. So I may not even use this because you can barely see it. So no, we won't use it. We'll get us fern in, shall we? A bit of light colour which will bounce against the darks. I've got a couple of pieces here what was also left over from what I've been using. So I will put picks on these. I've not prepared anything really this morning, odd little bits I have. I think the reason I've said to my husband is that I don't prepare, you know, everything. It's just so I can show you guys that, you know, what you can do. You perhaps know it, you know, but for those who aren't really sure, you know, it's just to give them a helping hand, to show them what to do. I find it easier when I let the pot tape dangle. With the other tape I have, I can just wrap that round. It's very simple. But with this, no, I have to I like it to be hanging. It's quicker for me because I just sort of like twist it like that. So let's cut some of this off. I don't want it as long. Right, for these I want to stick out here. I'm going to bend them as well. Oops, I caught a bit of the eucalyptus. Fine now. And I'm going to allow those, I'm going to manipulate those to hang lower. And as you can see, I'm working in even numbers with, you know, majority of things today. Because it's got basically 4 sides, you know, I need to fill those. So I've put even numbers in. Don't worry, when I start doing my flowers, it'll probably more than likely go back to the odd. But like I've said, with greenery, I don't think it really matters, you know, with the greenery, how you do it or how much you put in. Well, it matters how much. You don't want to, you know, really fulfill it with greenery unless that's just what you want in it is greenery. But I like to just put as much as I can in with the greenery without it looking too much. 1, 2, 3. And one more. Oh, I nearly used my scissors. That'd be terrible. I'm going to take that off because it's too far near the bottom. And then another one just in here. Just like that. If I try to show it you now, how it's beginning to look, I'm trying to hold it somewhere at the bottom. That's how it's started to look from, you know, the top part where you're looking down at it. And that looks quite full. When I even look down, it really does look quite full. So I think the greenery is going to be slowed down shortly. Drips and drabs. And like I say, I do have actually with the weeping willow. I've got it right today. Now this may look nice from the top as well, glued on to there. So that hangs, and then you could have, let's see, perhaps a little bit of lemon or something. Lemon bush under it, or, you know, your calla lily. I think that's quite a good idea. Don't know about these now. Now I've just come up with that. I've got to still put that on though. Just one. So yeah, oh my gosh. Let me get a couple more of the willow, the weeping willow. Oh, they're all 2, 3. I'd only need 4. Oh gosh, I didn't pull them out. Let me just grab a bunch. I don't want to force them. Let's just get one from the bottom. I think I put some of the ornaments in here as well. Yes. Here's another one. So I got this wrong the other day. I called it hanging ruscus. There's no such thing as hanging ruscus. I must have had ruscus on my mind. It is actually weeping willow. Let's just push that back in with the others. So sorry if everybody for getting it wrong. Put those picks over there. Right, so we'll do those last or near the end. I think I'm going to start with the, oh in fact, before we do start with the floor, we have these. I may put those underneath, and oh yeah, I've got 4 out, so yes. So it's like it'll look like it's a bit of a support for anything, you know, underneath. I could even put them there in between. That may look nice. Yes, it would look nice. Do you see how you change your mind? So, if I put one there. And this is going to touch the surface, because I don't, if you don't want that touching the surface, let me just pull it out, remove the glue. Because if you keep this glue on and you put more glue over the top, it's going to get really full and it's not going to really go in properly. So let's see if we can move it slightly up a bit. And then you could just bend it over, just like that, instead of having it right at the bottom. So we'll do the same on this side. Cut this one slightly long. And if you're new, or you know you're a new starter doing floristry or artificial flowers, and you were wondering what I have here, it's just a skillet pan that you'd probably cook your meat in, your roast chicken, your lamb, your pork, anything, and you can get them off Amazon. They're not anything for floral, but they work wonders. I got quite a large one because of the amount of work that I do. A small one, I guess, wouldn't be, you know, as helpful for me. So I actually got a larger one. And all you do is you buy your Gorilla Glue sticks, or if you know, you think there's slightly too much, there's other glue sticks as well. But take into consideration if they're weatherproof. And also take into consideration that sometimes if you used the glue gun ones, not all of them are weatherproof. So as soon as hot heat hits the glue gun sticks, sometimes, that's if they're not Gorilla Glue gun sticks, then sometimes that glue will start to melt. When I very first started, I had a problem with that. I thought, oh well, you know, it should have stuck, why ain't it sticking? And then once I really, you know, read the label, it did state, you know, it's not weatherproof and hot heat will melt it. Because if you think about it, you know, logically, it's in your pan, and when it's in your pan it's melting, or if it's in your glue gun, with the temperature of the glue gun it's melting. So hot heat, you know, sun heat, especially if you live in a really warm country, then it's going to melt. So I suggest if you've not got, you can't afford a pan, a skillet pan, and you've got a glue gun, get Gorilla Glue gun sticks like I have, because they are weatherproof. And then you won't have, you know, it won't be bothering, you won't get your customers coming back saying, oh, it's falling apart, you know, I've only had it 2 weeks. So take, you know, think about all that sort of side of it as well, not just to make something pretty for somebody. Take into consideration how the length of time it will last, how, you know, usually, especially if you do a wreath, it tends to last around 2 to 3 years, you know, perhaps maximum, depending as well where you put it. If you've got it under a porch, it'll probably last slightly longer because it's not getting weather on it or, you know, anything like that. But yes, they tend to last around that length of time. So that's just a little bit of, you know, a guide for you, especially if you're new to this. But I've got the skillet pan. I've got glue guns. I've got 3. I don't know why I've got 3. They all work. But I decided, you know, to get a skillet pan because of it. And then I just dropped all my glue sticks in there, and I switched it up. They all melt, and you have to get a consistency of, like, if you have a jar of honey and you just take a teaspoon of honey out and how it drops back into the jar, that's the consistency that you need. If you have the temperature too low, it'll be really thick, and it's going to make all your arrangements really messy because it's all going to be sticking to the top. And if you have the temperature too high, it'll be really, really runny. You need to get the balance in the centre. I know some people have got a temperature gauge on theirs. Mine has just got the number on the thermostat from 1 to 5, 5 being the hottest. Well, I have mine on 4. So I don't know what that would be in a temperature, but yes, I only have it on 4, and that's where I can get my honey consistency, you know, and it stays like that. I don't move the temperature gauge, but as the more you use it and the less you get in it, you need to alter your temperature, because I've got it quite full now, so I've got it on 4 and on number 4. But if you've only, it's really virtually right to the bottom, you need to alter your temperature, because then it'll be too hot for the amount that you have in your skillet pan. I hope that helps. And I like using the glue gun when it comes to being getting into really awkward positions that I can't reach, you know. But other than that, I'm constantly using my skillet pan. Right, let's crack on and carry on. I just thought I'd help you out if you didn't know, you know, to any newcomers or you're just starting it out. So I hope that helps. Right, the sunflower, I'm going to put 1 in the centre. Now this is where I'm going on the odd number side. I'm not going to be putting even for the flowers like I did the foliage. And if your leaves are just sticking up like that, do what I do. Just bend them over and just press them together against the stem. And then, as you know, they'll just open up, just like that. And then I just manoeuvre where I want the foliage. So here I'm going to have 1, a smaller one, not as big as the one I've just put in, because you need to keep different heights, because if you go in your garden again, your flowers are all at different heights. And I want these stems, I'm not going to manipulate the stem like I would usually, because I want the sunflower, because they grow upright, I want these sticking upright. So then I'm going to place this one. Oh, I've just caught a leaf again. And I'm going to place that one there. So that, and I'm going to turn the head slightly over, just so you can see it. So I've got the tall one there, then the next size just slightly below, and then the smaller one that I've you know, pushed in slightly deeper. So that's with your sunflowers. I'm not putting any more sunflowers in, you know, they're just what I was going to use, you know, just to add them in. Now I want to try with the lily and rose. I can't make my mind up whether to put the roses and the lilies in. I probably will. I don't want this foliage. Again, let me just check it. Always check your foliage. Yeah, it's the ones that fray. So again, And let me show you that little bit, guys, what I said. When you get stems, there's your main stem here, but then at the bottom, you get this. And that's what you see when I'm up there. You perhaps think you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm just peeling them off because I don't understand why they're there. So, and with this leaf, I'll take put the lily there. Here's the leaf that came with it. As much as the shape may look lovely, they're terrible. Look at the fraying. I hope you can see. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to get in. But that's the fraying. You can just keep doing that all along and it'll just keep peeling off on every little leaf. Look, here we go. Straight away. If you can see, it's doing it again. By me just touching it. So if you think that the customer, when they touch it and that happens, do you think they'd be happy? And they're definitely not. So these will be going in the bin. It's such a waste. People may think it's a waste, but it's not. Not when you want quality and, like I say, value. That's not quality. The flowers are lovely quality, but the leaf isn't. So I won't use it. Like I've said, you know, many times, my customers come first, and that's what counts to me. It's what they want and what they're looking for. Right, now the lily. I'm going to put the lily just behind the fern there. I'm going to, if I just stick that there, excuse me. And it's same with the rose leaf as well. It's got that bottom on again. Pull it off. The rose petals or rose leaves are exactly the same. They're very frayy, so that's not good. And if you feel like you just want to fluff up your rose, then that's great. You can do that. So with the rose, I'm going to sit it along the bottom here. So if I just put that in and show you, like that. So we'll get another lily. We may not even need the calla lilies. So we'll get another lily. In fact, we'll get two. And then two more roses. So then we don't need the rest of the lilies. Gosh, it's lovely. I have got to walk for. I've brought majority of the flowers up here as well. Well, I say flowers up here. They do go right to the end. But the ones that are more popular, should I say, that people like, I've brought those closer to me instead of at the other end. So now let's get the other lily in. So because we've got one high lily, one low rose, you could either bring your lily down here, or you could have it a similar height to what that one is, like you've placed your sunflowers. So I'm going to chop a little bit off and I'm going to place it just there. And then with my rose, let me take these little bits off at the bottom. I'm going to place the rose higher this time. So let's just see how high the rose would sit. Yes. So we'll place it in, and then I'm going to go around and glue them. So that's slightly higher than that lily. If you don't think it is, just manoeuvre the head so it's sticking up. And then because I've got the lily there, I'm going to have to put that one there again. Very realistic. These are also silk as well. I tend to look for silk more than anything. I've even glued this one. So that one's going to go further down. So in fact, let me just glue these others in. while I'm, as we say, on it like a car bonnet. I bet you think that my sayings are really, really weird. And then let's put this rose in. I didn't put that one in. You could put, if you want your roses or anything slightly higher, you know, just put a pick on them. And everything should be great. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Right, I want another one, which I want smaller. So 1, 2. It's got to be around here. So we're going to push that quite far down. Just slightly bring it there. So if I lift it for you, everybody, that's what we're looking at from the top view. I hope you can see it, and I hope the camera's zoomed in. It's quite effective with the whites. I love whites with yellows. I think it's very fresh. So I'm not going to put the calla lilies in. I think that, you know, because I've got the lilies, and I don't think I'm going to put, let me just see. No, that's too bulky, so the hydrangea won't go in either. So let's just get a few of the ranunculus in. I've checked the leaves on these. They shouldn't, because I've had these before and they're very good quality, very, very good quality. No, they're fine. Right, I don't want the leaves even if I'm checking them out. I just want the stem. So, because we've got a lot of white, my glasses keep falling down. I need to tighten them up. Or, well, not me. We're going to put some yellow at the bottom as well, because we've got the yellow at the top, the white around the centre. So now we're going to put the yellow at the bottom. So I'm going to cut these shorter because these are sitting around the bottom, and we're just going to just place those like that. I'm not going out of the boundary. I'm making sure I stay within the boundary. I may need another one because I don't think I want the bud. So I'm just going to go and cut another one off. You know what? I'll just bring the stem. Don't they look beautiful? So we'll take one off the bottom. I always check as well underneath, because the people who actually make these, sometimes there is stringy glue underneath, and I do look for that again, you know, to take it off. Cut that one short as well. And on these I will have 4, because I'm sitting them in between again of the cast iron bars at the bottom. So I'm going to go around. And one more there, just to give that different colour again, instead of the just the whites. Right, I've also got my, what they call spring grass with blossom. I love little pretty things. I'm all for pretty. Pretty. Let's clean the stems. Pull that plastic bit off the end. I'm not going to cut, I've cut these obviously, but I'm not going to shorten them, because these I want to just sit amongst the white of the lilies and the roses. Oh my goodness, I've just pulled it a bit too far. Oh, I'll just use another one. It will go back together. I've just pushed it up a bit too far. And again, just let them float away in the centre. Well, I say in the middle of the outside. Bring some up and just, you know, space them around. Give them, like I say, the natural look. I do like things like this. I think they add, you know, to any arrangement, any wispy bits, and also I think it gives that, you know, that beautiful, I don't know, natural look, meadowy look they do, especially if you put all the meadow flowers together and you add things like this. Oh, good gracious me, they look wonderful. So I want one more just in here. So I've got it cool. So as you can see again from your top angle with those sat around, aren't they pretty? But oh, excuse me. But there's plenty of space, as you can see, under here and also on the top to put much more. I'll keep them there. Right. Oh, these. Now I want to put these near the top. I really do. So one. They're really like wispy and, I don't know, floppy. 2, 3. That's all I want of those. It's all right, I'm just checking. I like to check before I put things in. They look slightly a bit like bulrush, don't they, if you add it like that? Because I've got the bulrush again. I'll show it you if you didn't see it yesterday. Oh, look, it's tangled up with some amaranth. Not amaranth, this anthurium. There's the bulrush in brown. And then there's that. Now, don't they look like it? But on the stem it says something different. I can't remember what it said. But yeah, foxtail stem, that's what they called it. Now a foxtail to me, it's not that. Oh, here I go again. I'm not gonna be picky. I've got to just keep thinking, guys, that I've got what I want and just leave it at that. Let me take this bottom leaf off. Let me just show you how they're gonna sit. Just like that. They're just gonna hang, like say you've got yellow, white, yellow, white. And if you think of that sort of layout, if you're just doing two colours, that is, start with the top colour, like this is white. We did start with yellow, but because I've got these and they're longer, it's going to be at the top. So white, yellow, and then you'll get an equilateral look. Everything's spaced out in the correct colour. Right, that's a bit sharp, so let me just put a bit of tape on. You know, you don't have to do it like that. I just tend to think that sometimes that looks really, sweet. Looks really lovely. So we'll put some glue on. Let's just part the leaves so I can get it in. And that'll just be, hanging over. Oh, why didn't I do that in first place? It's took that spiky bit off. See, I'm learning. Learning as I go along. And then I'm going to go quite close to that other stem I've just put in. So they come in threes. Oh yes, it's got a little pin on it, look. Oh, dearie me. It doesn't matter if you've got one of these longer than the other. I'm sure, like I say, it's all natural. Fluff up. Let's see if you can see from here again. With those, I think they're so pretty. What don't I like? I like everything, absolutely everything. I was watching the television last night and there was something about a lady who was living on the streets. Oh gosh, it was so sad. I had tears in my eyes. I really felt for her. She'd been living on the street for years, just wandering the streets, and a gentleman just approached her. She'd got a little cup where she was putting her money in, well, asking people for donations for her to eat. She really did look ill as well. Her hair was all tangled. And this lovely, kind gentleman came along, asked her why she was sat there. She told him she was homeless. She'd got bruises on her face, a massive bruise here, like somebody had beaten her up. I was crying. And he took her and he said, come with me and my wife will help. And he took her, and he was an hairdresser. He did all her hair for free. Oh, his wife did all of the makeup. They bought her some new shoes, new clothes, absolutely everything, fed her, and she was unrecognisable. She was so, so pretty. And that poor, poor woman, oh my goodness, I was in bits. How can anybody, she even said she'd been bullied and she'd been beaten and things like that. How on earth can anybody do that to another human being? I just don't know. I am really, really you know, I know it goes on. You don't want to know it goes on, but oh goodness gracious me, some people are so cruel. But and she got given a bouquet of flowers, and hers was her favourite colour was pinks, and they gave her a bouquet of flowers in pinks, and she was absolutely sobbing. That poor lady. She was crying, I was crying, and I guess many other people that were watching it were crying. But at the end of the day, there's some very, very, very kind people. But oh goodness, that poor lady. Right, I had to tell you that because it's such an emotional story, and I don't like anything where people beat people up. You know, a man beating a woman up in the street. It's cruel, very, very cruel. So, but let's not talk about that, otherwise I'll start crying again. I've helped people who are homeless when I've gone in, you know, gone into town shopping. Oh, I've just dropped one, I think. I've helped them. I've walked into town and I've spotted them. Oh dear, poor things. If I had the room, I'd take everybody. I really would. I'd take everybody in. And some people just give them coins, you know, which, yes, that's helpful. That's really kind of them. Not me. I gave them notes, and I wanted to give them notes. I felt so sorry. Right, let me just show you this. I'm sticking this, like I said, to this. But because you will see the glue as it dries, then one of these leaves that I've set, in fact, actually, no, I'm going to use one of these flowery ones. So I'm going to pull that off, just put that slightly shorter. And I'm going to get my glue stick, because I won't be able to put that in. It's way, way, way too short. Glue around the little stem that I've just cut. And then, as you can see, where the glue is, I'm going to stick that there. So then that hides the glue from, you know, anybody spotting it, that it's been glued on there. And again, you can manipulate these so they hang. So let's take the other one off of that. So I want 4. Oh, super. Just the right amount, guys. Must be my lucky day. Like I say, cut it as much as you can to the back. And we're going to use them and do the same. Clear the stem. Cut this quite short because we don't want it all. If you can hear a dog, everybody, that's my one of my favourite neighbours over the road. It's her dog, Maisie. Lovely dog. It's one of those dogs that herd sheep. Not that she's got sheep on her garden. She hasn't got sheep on her garden. She's a beautiful colour. She's not the original like black and white. She's got dappled colours of like a very light tan white. Wonderful. So her name's Maisie. And then next door is one of my other favourite neighbours, who's got a Shih Tzu called Benji. Oh, and he is cute. He is really, really cute. Again, just stick that there. So you've got it all hidden. It's not showing any, you know, your glue. And Benji is a black dog. Oh, like I say, it's really cute. Every time you go across and you're shouting him and that, he stands at the bottom of the gate like that. And that's how he looks at you. Like I say, what were you doing here? Lovely, lovely little thing. So, I've got cats, as you know, 2. Which you don't really see the other one. She's not one for coming in here. She's a very skitty. A slight bit of noise, especially bin bags and things like that. She don't like the sound of them. I think that one's coming off. Let me remove the glue off of there. And on there, let's put a bit more on. Just to give it that extra touch. Because there's a bit more on it there, I'm going to stick that straight onto it. And if you still feel that it's not safe, just get a bit of floral wire and just wrap the wire around it. This one seems to be quite top heavy. So I'll get a bit of floral wire. It may drop while I'm fetching it. Oh, I've got some here, look. So just get your floral wire and go under the flower, well I say the flower, the little stem, the greenery I've just put to cover the glue. Just go behind it at the back. I know you won't be able to see this, guys. I'll try and explain as much as possible. And once you've got it at the back, just twist it like you would if you've got a bow, or you was putting something in to a wreath or anything. Just twist it and then just cut it. But then always make sure that that bit of wire you've just cut is folded over and turned around the back. Again, you don't want your customer catching their hands on it and cutting themselves. I'll perhaps do that with all of them, just for that extra security. Again, I'm all for making sure nothing drops. If you can see the glue consistency, now I'm wearing, oh well, I say wearing black. If you can see, that's how it should be, just like honey. Again, we'll get some more. If I get quite a bit on it, then you'll be able to see. There you go. It's just dripping off slowly. It's not fast running. It's not thick. So that's how you'd need your glue. So we'll stick this one on here as well. We'll get that and fasten that onto it. If you see again any glue, just pick it off. Right, let's get some more wire for the security. Just cut it at the back. I'm going to use the rest of that one. And then bend it over your wire. And if you feel like you don't think that that's going to do anything, then get another leaf and then stick the leaf on top of that one at the back. But because we've got those flowers and everything, that's going to hide that. So I did that one, let's do this one. Even though it's dry. And at least then we know it's safe, and we know that when the customer purchases it, we know it's not going to collapse on, well, not collapse, that's the wrong word. It's not going to, you know, just fall off. Press it down. And that's that one. And the last one, that's slightly a bit loose. Let me just use these. There we go. There we go. So now they are all definitely secure and they're not going to be dropping off. So let's just refluff everything. One, two, three. We'll put that there. If you can hear the other noise, that's Benji. It's like they're singing together. I think I'm going to put a few of these lemons at the bottom. I do have slightly taller ones which I may place in there. I've got plenty of the lemons. Put one there, so then that will make 3 at the top. Let me just place them, guys. That one like that. I think I want under the white rose, just something hanging. I know it's next to a yellow there, but like I say, we have as a stilby, and we could add just a bit of a stilby in between to break up that, or we could even, let's have a look. Oh, you'll see my eyes wandering everywhere because I've got that much. It's hard to focus in on it all. Let's just have a quick glance. Oh, why didn't I think of that when I was looking? Why didn't I think of that? Because we're using yellows and whites, got some blossom, and that's got yellow in the centre. So that's going to match up really well. So I don't want these. I don't want the carnations. Even though they may, I don't know, they may actually look nice dotted around. Oh, we'll keep them. Oh gosh. The lemons, I don't need these, and I don't need these. So if I just get rid of all of this, so then I can see, that's how I like to be organised. Sorry guys if I've come out of shot, it's a bit rude of me, especially when I'm doing a video, but if I can just put things back quickly, then I can see what I've got left and what, you know, what to do with it. So, oh gosh, I've got that many hydrangeas, I can't get them in. There's one flower I really need to stock up on, and that is green roses. I have run out virtually of green roses. I don't need those. So I really need to stock up on those. There's just one bucket that's looking sorry for itself, and that's the green roses. So here we go again. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see, I'm not using that. All the glue that's dripping off the side, it's all dry. It's heat proof this, so it's not going to burn you. So I just pick it up. I just drop it back in. just drop it back in. So we'll put that back, we don't need that. I'm not going to put that in, it's too wide I guess, and if I put that in, it'll take quite a lot of room. So let's get our lemons carried on being put in. Oh, the cat's coming to life. Now if I put one there, there's a bit of space there. And let's get a couple more lemons. Oh, I nearly picked up the pomegranates then. Oh, I have. My little pomegranates. So, I've got a bucket with all different types of fruit in. I've just ordered as well some peaches. You can get blackberries, raspberries. Oh, and they're wonderful. I ought to get a lot of it in and make just an arrangement full of fruit with the odd bits of greenery. That may look lovely. So, stop chatting, let's crack on. So I'm going to put that one there. So obviously I'm going to push them in a bit more, but that's how I'm going to do it with the lemons, so I don't need the rest of that. So let's glue those in. I do like them. I do like how they hang. They're very, let me bring it to you. I don't know if you can see. Oops, a daisy. Aren't they pretty? They've even got like the skin on it, what you'd get on a real lemon. I don't know if you can see that, but isn't that weird? And they're just really like bouncy, I guess. The leaves are quite nice. They don't fray. So we just stick this one in here. And I want this one. This is slightly taller. I'm going to put that one just down here. And then let's get the little ones in at the bottom. I'm going to cut that one. It's a bit long. Take the bottom leaf off and the little bit of the prong that the leaf was attached to. Just put that there. And then just another one. Same with this, cut this slightly shorter. And just have those hanging at the bottom. Right, a stobie. I need something to go with the sunflowers at the top. I don't know whether to... Oh my goodness. Because it's still quite, you know, you can still see lots of space under here. Let me just get rid of the space. I think this is going to be another longer video, guys. I think it's on about an hour and 40 minutes already, so that's with me chatting again. I can't help it. Just fill that in. that a bit more in. One, two. Two more. Oh, lovely. Just the right amount. I don't need to save that. There's not really much I can do with those. If you see me doing this, it's because the glue string has followed me from the pan, and I quickly wrap it around my fingers, and then it takes it off of the stem. I think I want one more here. I could also add obviously the carnations, and I may add a bit more greenery. In fact, I'm staring at some over there. What I was doing a Halloween wreath for my sister, because I've got to post it. She doesn't live around where I live. It's about an hour and a half drive. I live in Mansfield, she's in Wolverhampton. So I know, guys, if you're in America, you not know that where that is. Well, you may surprise me, and you do. But her and my mum live in Wolverhampton. Right, let's just fluff up our carnations. I do, you know, I'm daft sometimes. On real flowers, carnations, or anything that you're trying to, you know, manipulate, because sometimes on real carnations, they do come and arrive, you know, at the florist shops quite compact and not fully open. You can actually manipulate the fresh ones as well by, you know, just doing that, but also blowing down them. And I find myself doing that with these. That's, you know, doing what I did with the fresh ones. Doing. My husband thinks it's hilarious. But I don't know. It's just something that I've done when I was doing the fresh. Because we've got the lemon and the yellow there, I need to put another white there. I know we've got the rose, but we need one just slightly above. And these are silk as well. Oh, I nearly blew again. Oh, goodness gracious me. I just put that one there. Keep moving it around. I know I had a lady contact me asking me about my turntable. I come across that in a charity shop by chance. Oops, by chance. But you can get them online, and they're not expensive. So yeah, because I got it by chance, I was quite lucky. But they usually, you know, I mean, this one's a solid wooden one, but I tend to, I've covered it, I've painted it, I've spray painted it all different colours. When I get fed up of a certain colour, I spray paint it again. But this time I'm on the front of my workbench, around here, and on the other side I have that it's sticky back vinyl with a wooden effect, and I thought I'd put it on my turntable. I actually, you can see it's a mess underneath. There's my wheel. All I did was get my stapler out and just stapled it over, you know, like that. But I've taken it back off because it's very slippy, and I'm going to put black rubber on. The rubber that I'm putting on is rubber that you'd use on a roofing, which is very thick and very grips very well. Or I may put some rubber pond liner on, because obviously I've got a little tiny pond, only a little tiny pond. Christ, I can't get this off, everybody. So yeah, so I'm going to put a bit of that on because this is very slippy. But yes, you can get them anywhere. You can go online, you can go, you know, just type in florist turntable and they'll pop up. You can put in a large, you know, you want large, just put in florist turntable large. And you'll get them. 1, 2, 3. So do I? No, that's too far. I could put a pick on it though and bring it up. I don't know, or I don't know about that now. Let me look at some more greenery because I think I don't want to overpower it. Where's the greenery? I was just looking. Oh, I'll go this way because this looks really big. I mean, I've just looked as I was walking back, and it is really big. So let's fill it with some dark ficus. I've got plenty of this, so my sister's not going to miss out on it. Like I say, I'm doing her a Halloween wreath. She spotted the one that I did, the witch with the witch's legs, and that was it. She wanted one herself, so because she lives far away, well, it's not far. I've got to post it to her. Now that's filling up. That's being used as a filler. So we'll do the same. We'll cut a few off. See, these have those little things on the end as well. Plastic bits. Sometimes you can get them off. Let me take that off where it's been cut. Right. I will show you as I'm moving around how it's filling in. As you can see just there. But because there's gaps here, you know, if you just put it where you've got your gaps, just to give that extra texture, different movement, and also balance as well. If I just keep doing it quite close with the others. I hope that looks better with the ficus in, and plus with it being dark, it'll look quite pretty against the lighter leaves and the lighter flowers. I'll put one here. And also by using, you know, foliage or filler foliage, that also takes up space to the point where you won't have to use as much Flowers, that's if you don't really want to use a lot of flowers. You know, you put quite a bit of the broader leaved foliage in, and then that will help cover the majority of your oasis. I've got these little bits I can put here. Never waste any, always save your foliage. You can always put picks on them just to bring, you know, to elongate them, and then you could just use little ones like this and put them back in. It doesn't matter if you can still see bits of your oh, well, I wouldn't say oasis, it's the oasis with the moss on, because the moss is there, that, you know, people can't see the oasis, and that acts as a cover up as well, like a filler. I think I need something around here. I don't want to use those. I really need something slightly taller. Now, do I? Now, to me, I'm just standing away from the camera, and it doesn't look as, let's say, balanced. I think those feathery things at the top aren't making it look balanced. So do I put in, I hope you all agree. Let's have a look. Will delphiniums look okay? Got delphiniums, because they may hide the sunflower. You see, this is where you start to change your mind. I'm going to pull these out. Is it caught onto the other one yet? Yeah, it's making that look unbalanced with that. So let me just stand over here again, everybody. Yes, we're removing them, that's much better. And I think the weeping willow as well, I'm going to droop that slightly down as well. And that's another, you know, tip, just always stand back and take a good look. Because what you can't see while you're doing it from this angle, the customers will be able to see from their angle. And while I've just stood back, I've noticed it doesn't look right. So that's what the customers will be seeing as well. So I'm just going to take another look, guys. See, now that's better. That is much better without those. I don't think, maybe the delphiniums, I've just popped one off. Oh, there it is. I don't think the delphiniums would help either. I think they'd be too long. Yeah, way too long. Excuse me. Oh, the gladioli, they'll be too long as well because they're very tall. Look how fluffed up they are. I've got a pink gladioli on my front and it's gone like that. It's sort of like grown like that. So, I think... Oh, I'm stuck, guys, for an idea. Let's have a look. Let's see. Or, what about that in the centre, the Astrolomera? Just take this silly tag off. I'm going to just bend it up so I can see what it looks like in the centre before I decide. Because these have got different bits on, and let me come over and just have a quick peek again. I think the sunflowers need to pop out a bit more, so I may take them out and put them on picks. But I think that Astralomera at the top looks nice. So let's cut the Astralomera down. And we're going to elongate our 1, 2, 3. Our sunflowers. Sorry everybody, I've started a design and then I've changed and I've had to stop. Let's take the glue off. But it's better to have it, you know, correct than not correct. And this is where you tend to see me when I make mistakes, as you know, but it's a lesson for me, and you know, for you to also realise, you know, the actual look of it, that it wasn't looking balanced. So that's one. Go to the bottom to pull it out. Don't just pull it out because it may pull others out, if you know, or catch on others and tear them, or you know, anything really. Just removing the old glue. We're going to elongate this one as well. Maisie the dog sits on the front with her owner when her owner's doing her garden. She's like me, she loves gardening. And that's the neighbour that I go to for the parties. We're having a little party coming up. She told me to save all my 10 pences because we're going to have a little, like, we tend to have like little parties where we have, she's got a horse game and a horse racing game, like a Grand National game. And we get us 10 pences out and we pretend to have little bets on the horses. Not real horses. Obviously drinking as well. With nibbles, or you know, bits of food. So we do that as well. And we also play. They're very good fun. Very good fun. We also play bingo. But the thing is, whoever wins get a surprise out of a box. And in the box there is silly gifts. Not, you know, something you'd take home and put on your shelf. It is literally probably a can of baked beans. Or it might be a children's little car. Or it might be, I mean, we've had a little old lady, Mrs. Hill. She won one once, and inside there was a bra where the nipples had been cut out, and she's in her 80s. Well, sorry guys, but that was hilarious. Really funny. But the thing is, I said to her, I'll swap, and she said, no, I want these. And that made it more funny because it's like, oh right, okay, Mrs. Hill, you know, I didn't know like you like peephole bras, but yeah, things like that, silly gifts. And it is great. It is really great. I love my neighbours to bits. So yeah. And plus they put things in like light bulbs. What don't even fit your house. So yeah, it's great, it really is. And we're having another one of those parties coming up, so I can't wait. I leave my husband here, it's just for women. It's just a women's party, that's it. No men. So I just love it. Right, let's get the Astrolomera in. Because the Astrolomera have got like single little flowers on their own little stem, I can place this under here and wrap it around. So that's what I'm going to do. This is quite a thick stem. I mean, don't overdo it with your glue, but just make sure you've got quite a bit of glue on to hold this stem. Right, I'm just going to manoeuvre it slightly deeper. Bring some of the flowers just around. Spread them around as much equal. If we can get one just there. Right, let me just stand afar again, everybody. Now that looks better there, but the problem I still have is there. We need something there. But other than that, if I show it you a bit closer up, if I can grab it in a good place, so my hand's not in the way. That's how I've sat it around on each of these, if you can see. I hope so, if you're in Zoom, if it's gone into the camera. But like I've said, I've just stated, there's something amiss here. It's okay having your foliage, but something really does need to be there. So it may have to be another lemon. So if I get another one out, let me move these. I keep wanting to grab those. So I want it on a longer stem. So I'm going to take those off, put those to one side. Just going to bend that over so I can cut this at the diagonal and position and angle, so it doesn't look like anything's been chopped off of it. Now let's just, yes, it just needs something to fill it. Let's see how far, no, a bit more. Always just check your height of things to make sure you've got it how you want it, and it's in within the boundary. It's not, you know, coming too far out. Let me just have a look. Sort of. I'm still not happy. I need something. Oh, I've got that much. It's just to just grab it and say yes, that's what you need. It's quite, well, it's not hard. It's, I don't want to put those in. In fact, let's get another one of these in. Clean the stem. Yeah, it's been an exceptionally long video today, I guess. Sorry. I say sorry every time. It's only because people are telling me not to, you know, keep chatting. Let me just see. It's much better. Just want to check around. I'm going to put another one in there. Let's cut it off this stem. Just above the lily. white. Excuse me talking to myself. It's when I'm making decisions, I tend to talk to myself. Crazy me. Yeah. In fact, actually, I've got these. I haven't put these. Oh my goodness, I'm dropping them. These are little oddments that I put back in a jar. In fact, instead of those, these are the forsythia that I've got on my garden. The same colour as well. I mean, they flower for perhaps about a month, but that's about it. And I think they're wonderful when they flower. But then they also act as a good shrub as well. So yes, definitely. We'll put these in all around the bottom. We'll use all these up. And they're just slightly hanging. And just turn it around. I may put the odd one, just like a zigzag pattern. You know, one at the top, one at the bottom. Just stand it slightly upright. Just dot them around where you can see, you know, a bit of space. I know we've got it all here. And then I'm going to put that one there. And because I haven't got any more left, I'm going to use this one for the last bit of space. And we're going to place that on the Was it there I was going to put it? I can't remember. Let me take it out. No, because we've got that there. It's going to be there. Like that. So let me just stand back again. That's very much better. Like I say, I'm very particular. If I haven't got the correct shape, the correct balance, then I will pull things out and I will, you know, reposition them in a different, you know, so because I didn't like those in. They didn't go, I don't think, with the theme. They're very pretty, but they just didn't look right. So that's what we've done for today out of this crown that I have. I've even got a smaller one actually, but it's silver, really tiny, probably the size of the little round small container that I did for Julie for the meeting in the purples, but that's in a silver one. But yes, like I say, I've put felt on the bottom. You can keep going around the bottom if you feel that you have to, or you'd like to. I'm not going around the bottom because these are quite long here and, you know, hanging, and they are touching the surface, so there's no need to go there because this would only just sit on your cabinet, or, you know, perhaps in your bedroom or on your dining room table, which would look fabulous. So, and with these all touching or really hanging low, you can't really see underneath without actually bending your head to view it. So all these are protecting or, you know, hiding things with the rest of the moss. But even if they did look underneath, there's moss there, what's gave it the finishing touch. So don't worry about that. But yes, I quite like that actually. I do like yellows, very sunshiny. So if you like that and you feel that you've got something similar, or anything like that, you know, just get it out. And like I said earlier on, if you can find all little bits and bobs in your house, whether it be something full and solid or something open like this, you know, all you have to do is stick a piece of Oasis on to the back of it, even if it's ceramic, to the back or inside this where I did, and just attach it with tie wraps and perhaps add a bit of glue, and you can make wonderful things, wonderful things. Like I said, I knew I was going to use it, but I didn't have an idea of what sort of arrangement I was doing. I just went with it. Like I've said before, usually the best arrangements usually end up, you know, not planned. So I totally agree with that. So like I say, I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if it's another long video, or should I say movie, because they are like that. And thank you again. I just can't keep thanking everybody enough. It's so overwhelming for all your comments, and thank you, Sandra. Thank you. You know, everybody really. I just can't thank everybody because the list is so long. But you know, thanks for all your support as well, and watching me do all my little arrangements, and some big. We will get to do one of the smaller displays that I shown you yesterday under here. I don't think I'm going to do it as big as this because this is a double one. I do have the single trays, but I think I'm going to do one as a tabletop, a low down tabletop display. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a Christmas theme, or you know, or just a normal dinner arrangement, but that will get filled, and trust me, you can fill them really a lot. So you know, if I just think of sort of like colours and sit down, if you've got a colour you'd like to see it in, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help and do it in that colour. So again, me and my cat Marley, thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and please subscribe and share to your friends and family, and give me a thumbs up, or maybe a little message if you feel you know you'd like to. And we'll see you again tomorrow. So have a great day and take care everybody, and goodbye.